went to sack the quarterback, got hit from behind, tore my abdomen off of my pelvis.
Oh my gosh.
It was really gnarly. And they didn't know exactly what it was. Nobody could find it, right? And I played the whole season with it sparingly.
So like were your ab muscles shifted up or?
Yes. Yeah. And it was right in the spot where a hernia is.
Yeah.
Right? But it wasn't a hernia. And so I had that big knot right here. Man, it was horrible.
Could you, if you were laying on your back, could you sit up?
No, I had to roll over.
Golly.
And so the season ends, and they're sending me to doctors all around the country to try to figure it out.
And you're early 20s at this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Carolina Panthers and the Jacksonville Jaguars became expansion teams. So at the end of 94, every existing NFL team put 4 to 5 people on an expansion list to be drafted from by those 2 new teams. Well, unbeknownst to the Carolina Panthers, I had just been operated on and they picked me. So I literally became the first guy cut from the Carolina Panthers. I asked for it, but and you know, I was a small defensive lineman by all stretch of the imagination. I mean, there was no, I don't look like a D lineman. They're 6'1", 350 pounds usually. So I had to do everything that I could, man, to fight for a job. And every day I had to fight for a job. It's like I didn't show up one day and go, oh, well, I'm cool today. I can relax. No, every day it was tough. And so I got drafted by the Panthers. I couldn't do anything. I got operated on. They finally figured it out. I went to Duke University, and they identified it, and it was called athletic pubalgia.
Pubalgia.
It's a weird name.
It was very strange. And it's basically a hernia.
Yeah.
And so they reattached it. Carolina's obviously doing this, and I can't even walk. So I went into Dom Capers, and I'm like...
Pubalgia just means pelvic pain.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Yeah.
This guy's so smart.
Athletic pelvic pain.
Yeah, that's like a very nondescript diagnosis.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it's different than a hernia.
Yeah.
You know, except for I guess
maybe just complete tear is what you had, and a hernia is just a half tear. So some of your insides kind of pooch out a little bit.
I guess soccer players and hockey players, it was prevalent in those sports. Donovan McNabb was the first NFL guy to really have it, and then they dubbed it athletic pubalgia, whatever. And then Goldberg had it, and boom. So but there's nothing I really ever wanted to do. I never aspired to do anything or be anyone other than a professional football player. Because I wanted to get to a point where people would look up to me and listen to what I had to say. Not because I wanted to be the man. It's just because I wanted to give kids hope. I wanted to give them somebody that they could look up to. I wanted to give young...
Yeah, man.
Right?
That's awesome.
So...
Do a lot of wrestlers come from a football background? I know Brock did that.
They
or is that not that
they
common?
didn't used to. It's not that common, but
Okay.
it is now. It's common because WWE literally goes out and seeks these guys.
Looks for the big dudes that look like they had the look kind of.
But think about it. We're schooled on the microphone already.
Yeah.
Right? We're used to having people in the locker room interviewing us all the time.
Yeah.
In precarious situations. You know? So it's a natural progression. And where are you going to find better athletes than dudes who play in the NFL?
Yeah. They've been training their whole life to be as strong as they can.
Bingo. Yeah. So I'm like, what can I do?
Yeah, so football's coming to an end.
It was over.
And that was your dream.
Yeah, it was over.
We're always talking about how you never know where you're going to be. You're never going to know where you're going to end up. I always tell my viewers that. And so your dream is ending. Mm-hmm. What is that like?
No, hold on. My dream is ending, and I was rehabbing from athletic pubalgia, and I was taking a cocktail mix of oxycodone and what's the one that they give you to get off of heroin?
Suboxone?
No, methadone.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had a cocktail of, it was
Straight narcotics.
bingo every day. I had to take it.
Yep.
I'd go to the gym, I'd train, I'd be in the zone, and it would lobotomize me. I mean, it was like, it was a really gnarly.
Just a dull version of yourself.
Exactly. And so at that point in my life, when my dream had been taken away, I had no idea what I was going to do. I mean, I defaulted to wrestling because it was something that I'd been out in Atlanta. I was a Falcon. I went out all the time. I met all the dudes from WCW. It was based in Atlanta. I'd been friends with them for a period of time, and it seemed like a fairly natural progression. It was something that it was like walking up to a pool and not looking in before you jump, because I had no idea what it was all about. I knew some of the guys, but I'm like, I don't know what I'm getting into here. And so I took everything that made me the football player that I was, and I applied it to wrestling. That's all I did.
Did you struggle with pain for a long time? Was wrestling so physical?
That hasn't, ironically, it hasn't bothered me once.
Them cocktails.
Yeah, it wasn't that, but it didn't bother me. Yeah. Ironically, you know, I get done playing football and I rip my abdomen, I get it sewn up, and I pick the giant up who's 525 pounds.
Have you seen that video?
You know,
Yes.
This dude's huge.
So
Straight up.
I don't know how I did it, but I mean, thank God I did. But what I did was I applied everything that I learned by being a football player to the wrestling business. I took a video camera with me every day from day one, and I have these videos.
Oh, man.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I videoed myself, and I was a big MMA fan because the UFC had just started. And I knew a lot of the guys, and I actually had the largest MMA gym in North America, like in 97, in Atlanta, and a lot of the guys come and train at my gym, and I'd learn moves from them, and I'd buy all their tapes, and I'd buy everything that I could, and I'd look on YouTube for Japanese wrestling and pancrase and shoot fighting and
Ken Shamrock, shoot fighter.
Shamrock, everything, right? And so I'd take little things that I could apply in the wrestling ring that no one had ever done before that really would hurt you, and tried to do them to where they wouldn't hurt
Safely.
you. Yeah. And so I tried to basically be Mike Tyson of wrestling, right? I was 6'4", 280, and I could do a back handspring, right? I mean, it was ridiculous. And I was strong as an ox. And I had the mentality. I'm a football player. That's me, right? It's just the ability to turn it on and off. And I said, okay, the hell with it. I'm doing it. And I flew up to WWE, and I met with them first. Nobody really knows. Not many people know this. Jim Ross, who was a commentator, who was also living in Tulsa, Oklahoma when I was growing up, and he was a sports reporter, and he covered me in high school.
Wow.
Football. And he worked for WWE, and I picked up the phone and called him, and I'm like, please, just give me an introduction. I don't know what I'm doing, and I know you, please. Because he was really hot back then, too.
I wasn't going to say it.
thing.
I wasn't going to say it.
And so I went up, and it was completely foreign to me, right? I lived in Atlanta where WCW was, and it was based on all those guys. I knew them. WWE is the big 800-pound gorilla. I had to fly up to Stamford, Connecticut. You know, you're sitting outside in a waiting room of Vince's office, and as I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't call my agent. I went there without an agent. And I'm like, I don't even have an agent. I got a football agent. And so I said that out loud, and the secretary says, oh, no, Mr. McMahon does not like agents. And I'm like, okay, I need one right now. And so.
Because that means, yeah.
Exactly. So I go in there and
take advantage.
I meet with I meet with Jim Ross, and we talk, and, you know, they offer me like a training deal or something like that. And I flew back to Atlanta. And I called the owner or the president of WCW, and it was Eric Bischoff. He was the acting president on camera. And I had known him. Our paths had crossed. I'm not going to tell you how, but we had seen each other a number of times in a number of places. And
it'd be good for the title and thumbnail if we knew where.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure you don't remember?
No, I don't remember. No. the statute of limitations. And they're closed down now, so it doesn't matter. But I called him and I said, listen, here's the deal. I said, I want to do this wrestling gig. And I swear to God, I told him this, and to the word. I said, I'm not going to be one of those $500. I'm not going to be one of those $500 throw around the ring punks. I'm going to make a difference in this business. And that's just the confidence that I had. And the fact is that it's not based upon statistics or reality, or it's not based on accumulative numbers that you can quantify. It's whoever's the most popular. It's whoever is this, whoever is that. So I can make a prediction all I want, but if he doesn't want me to be the guy, I'm never going to be the guy, because it's not athletically based to where you can quantify things, right? So I just was very confident, and I saw a niche that wasn't satiated, right? I wanted to watch wrestling, but I wanted to be able to I wanted to be able to blur the line between between fiction and nonfiction, right? I wanted people to tune in and go, man, I know this is right. So I wanted to make sure that I was following her orders. They knock on my door, wham! I punched the door and broke my hand. I never told them about it, right? So I punched the door. They're on the other side of the door. They don't know what's going on. I punched the door. I wear these gloves, right? And so fortunately, I grabbed my glove and pulled my hand back out, and so I could move it. And I'm like, okay, let's go to the ring. And we went to the ring, and then I the rope and I fell, right? And it was the night that Steve Austin and I met for the first time, I think, and we did a beer bash. So we do the beer bash, and I slam my beer because I am in so much pain. I'm like, Steve, give me as many beers as you can. I need to take care of this pain. And then at the end, he does this thing, and he goes up to the ropes. So I go to the corner, and I grab and I fall again. I didn't go to the ground, but so that's me. That's unfortunately what happens to me. I've got really bad luck, and I'm really a brick brain. But I mean, it's worked. It's worked throughout the years.
I've got really bad luck. I just punched a door. It was unlucky.
I punched,
100 guys could have punched that door and not broke their hand.
No, but I think you hit on what has made you special for all these years, why you've continued to be on top for all these years, is you, with your, just natural gift of being a big, strong dude, could have just been a big, strong dude and you would have garnered an audience, but you wanted to be the best, and you wanted to go and watch these MMA fighters and shoot fighters and try to get something that, Ken Shamrock does and put that in your show too. Yep. And you didn't have to do any of that. And that's, I know a lot of, I'm sure, we all know a lot of very successful people, and they all do that. They all go above and beyond, like, how can I be the best at this? Yeah, and like, this guy's good. I'm good at what I do, but how can I be the best at what I do? And that sounds like exactly what you did back in the day.
Well, I appreciate it greatly. And I truly, as a human being, don't understand why anyone would do something and not try to be the best at it.
Sure.
It's truly not worth doing. I tell Gage, my 16-year-old son, I'm like, listen, dude, I'm your dad. I'm a football player. I know I've got experience. I know about this recruiting. I know what you need to do to be the guy, but you need to tell me if you're the guy, if you want to be that guy or not. Yeah.